what's good with you guys? It's Jibu. Now look, I love black women, but an overwhelming amount of black women are extremely hostile and extremely villainous towards black men. Like, it's almost as if some black women have literally been assigned to dismantle black men. Unfortunately, the white man and the media has convinced you to bring your own people down, to bring your own men down. And I find it surprising how at first and to this day, our issue was white people. And now, I don't know how they've done it, but they've convinced black women that now black men are their enemies. Now let's be honest, black women. You would never reciprocate the same energy for white men as you do to black men. Black women feel as if they are in constant competition with black men when we should be collaborating and figuring out how to improve our situation, because at the end of the day, we only have ourselves. Like, you guys have to realize that we are not being attacked for our gender. We are being attacked for our race. It's just that we are being attacked in different fashions. But the only person you should truly be in competition with is yourself. Now, we are sadly dealing with more black women dating out their race. Now, I'm not saying every single black woman, but there are definitely black women that have generalized all black men to be no good because of how underwhelming you find black men to act around you. Unfortunately, more and more black people, especially black females, have to deal with a single parent in the household, with it mainly being a black mother raising us in the home. So I've come to the assumption that most black women are upset that they lacked a father in the household to protect them, to support them, and to be active enough in their lives. Every black male and female deserves a father figure and a mother figure. And I'm sick of this belief that you only need one parent to take care of a child and to raise a child well. It's been proven that you will do better off with both your biological parents. And things become very difficult when you remove the black father out of the household, because the child's more vulnerable and more susceptible to becoming victims of abuse. And when the predator realizes that the child has nobody to protect them, they'll easily, without a doubt, end up being exploited, leaving the child traumatized. I've just found out recently that there are black mothers that will purposefully go out of their way to stop the black father from seeing their children. There are black fathers that could care less about their children and so completely neglect their children. I hate to admit it, but I was definitely one of those black men that used to hate on black women. And the only reason why I hated black women was because really and truly I was disappointed with how I was treated by the black women closest to me. And so I began seeking out my race. And unfortunately, black men and black women feel as if we have to act upon these negative stereotypes that were created by white people just for the sake of ruining our image. I'm not saying every single black woman's like this. I'm not saying every single black woman acts like this. However, there definitely are black women that feel as if they should act like this because that is what it means to be black. Now, the reason why I've had a change of heart for black women is because I came across a video where a young black girl attempted to off herself because she was exhausted with how she was being treated at home. And that led me to investigate and research further on black women and the issues that they have to deal with on a daily basis. And I came to the conclusion that there are a decent amount of black women that are hurting deep inside. They're traumatized, they're dealing with unresolved issues and feel as if they can't rely on anyone. With increased suicide rates and missing black females, it definitely made me realize that we've all been brainwashed by our true enemies, and that's white people. It definitely made me sympathize more with black women. We need to throw away this belief that black people shouldn't and don't need to seek help. Because if you were to look at everything that's been accomplished in this world today, a lot of it has been due to group work. A business wouldn't run and wouldn't be successful if other people weren't supporting the business. There's nothing wrong with seeking help, as we're all not perfect, since we have been designed to be irrational and social beings. I'm almost adamant to believe that other black women can be black women's worst enemy, because I've witnessed a ton of backstabbing from black women, as well as black women bad-mouthing other black women. I believe that black women's main issue is their lack of confidence.
I'm so ugly.
So pretty. You are so pretty. Do you hear me?
got the prettiest little dimples. You are too cute. Oh, you gonna make me cry. You're not ugly. Baby girl.
You attempt to give off the impression that you're confident as to why you tell everybody that you don't need a man and that you're a strong and independent woman when deep down you're insecure about yourself. Because if you was truly confident about yourself and your abilities, then you wouldn't be seeking validation from other people, and you wouldn't have to tell other people how good you are as a person. And the only reason why you are seeking validation from other people is because you never received any sort of approval when you was younger. Nobody around you when you was younger gave you a reason to love yourself and your black skin, when there are plenty of reasons to love yourself and your black skin. I also believe that black women deep down feel unprotected. That's why when you deal with an aggressive black woman, a lot of them are aggressive because they've most likely been exploited and had nobody to protect them, and feel as if they have to compensate through being aggressive in order to protect themselves. But regardless of whether or not you need a man, you can do 10 times better if you had the right man surrounding you. You're very limited when you're working on your own compared to when you're working with a team of like-minded people. You can accomplish more working with the right people as opposed to working by yourself. But black people aren't placing any effort into building strong and genuine relationships with each other. And it doesn't get any better when the media that's controlled by white people is propagating this black male and female division. Every single black person has been manipulated and deceived into hating one another and loving white people because white people want us gone. Because despite white people being economically as well as socially rich, our skin reminds white people that they are poor in melanin. And without melanin, we wouldn't even be alive today. And the reason why we wouldn't be alive today is because the sperm and egg actually forms melanin before it collides. And the reason why the sperm and egg forms melanin before it collides is to protect the sperm and egg. So melanin is essential for life. Black people were thriving at one point because of how unified we were. True African culture believes in collectivism. And the only way black people can improve their situation is by working with each other. So us black men and women need to come together and figure out how we can improve our situation, because all this self-hatred amongst our community is getting ridiculous. The fact that we look at ourselves as our worst enemies and can't see eye to eye, no matter where you're from, is, in my opinion, quite sad and quite absurd. Human beings are social beings that crave strong relationships. So this whole concept of doing things on your own, of black people believing in individualism, is stupid. That's a part of European culture. That's not a part of true African culture. So black men and women need to come together and have an unbiased discussion on our issues within our community, as well as the division between black men and black women. Yo, that cat's been literally over there staring at me, listening to what I've been doing this whole time, bro. That is mad. But whatever, anyway, may the truth prevail. But look, we have to acknowledge that for one, we aren't perfect, and for two, that black men and women hating each other is exactly what white people desire. Black men also need to be accountable for the poor state the black community is in, because we aren't protecting our women and children. Also, both black men and women haven't created an environment where we hold ourselves accountable and have us receive our due diligences. And as a result, we have black women in particular that get away with poor behavior. Instead of black people, especially black males, calling out poor behavior by other black people directly at that moment, we would much rather publicly shame our own people and gossip about our people. And unfortunately, a lot of black males act a lot like toxic and narcissistic teenage females, because us black men instead of calling out our black women right then and there about the issues we have with them, we'd much rather gossip about them and publicly shame them. Well, here's the thing, people act accordingly to their environment and will either adjust and adapt to the environment or simply move out of their environment to another environment that they feel more comfortable in. So if murdering other people was permissible, then you would witness more murders. We as black people like to run away from responsibility and would much rather blame somebody else entirely for our own issues, when we are culprits for certain issues that we have to deal with today. So we need to quit figuring out who's more at fault, when at the end of the day, it's supposed to be group work. We are all at fault for the current state we're in. Now, I'm not particularly fond of how us black people like to poorly generalize our own people, especially when it comes to black men generalizing black women. Because if we're gonna poorly generalize our own people, then you should definitely generalize everybody else. And if we were to generalize particularly the white race group, then I'm almost certain that you'd witness more and more black people not want to be around them at all. Because if black men are nothing but doltish, untrustworthy robbers and killers, then white men are nothing but pedophiles and rapists. Because the majority of child molesters are, for one, white, the most prolific rapists have been white, and the most prolific pedophiles have been white. And the only reason why white people aren't sexually assaulting other people as much as they used to is because now everybody wants to be with the white man. Nobody has sexually exploited black women as much as white men have. And if we were to generalize, then white men would be generalized as sexually ambiguous, because they also used to exploit black men too. And if we were to look into their history, sexual assault and rape were very prevalent during their history. But Africa, pre-colonialism, actually had no knowledge of rape, nor have they ever raped anybody. There is no recorded documents to suggest we have ever raped our own people. And don't get me started with white women, because first off, over 35% of slave owners were white women, and it's also believed that white women during slavery would actually treat black women worse than white men themselves. But now I'm seeing more and more black women befriend white women when they know for a fact that one of their biggest haters are white women. And for all the black men out there, if you're going to generalize black women for their so-called stinky attitude, then it would make absolutely zero sense for black men to go out of their way and try and date white women, when this has been proven that 90% of black men that were falsely accused by white women. So let us black people be extremely cautious with how we generalize our own people. We also have different types of black women black men can choose. We have dark-skinned women, we have light-skinned women, we have brown-skinned women, we even have white women. And although yes, black women could choose better partners, at the same time, black men aren't at their best. And so how can you expect a good black woman to be on your side when you yourself isn't good enough? Now this goes for everyone. There are good black people available across the globe, but we have to be at our best and we have to search for that good black person. Now it's not going to be easy, but who said life is easy? But look, to all my black women out there, you're better than what you believe you are, and don't allow anybody else to believe that you aren't better than what you are. Don't allow anybody to believe that you as a woman with dark skin is bad, because it isn't. You've accomplished many great things. And of course, unfortunately, the media prefers to promote degenerate black women to these young black girls instead of all these black women that are out here on YouTube trying to spread a positive message. But yeah, I'm gonna add some YouTubers that black women could check out for themselves, as well as some that other black women can look into. But let's just quit hating each other and let's just unite as one. I know we can be full of shit, but love your people and love your skin and quit trying to be something that you're not. But with that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you like, subscribe, peace, and take care of yourselves. I'm out.
Listen to me. I am a woman. Black, that is. And there is but one thing which brings tears to my eyes. And that is to hear man, woman, or child stand up with strength and say, I'm proud. I'm black. And that's beautiful.